Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
All of our guests brought to you by our title sponsor. Our guests include John Shannon standing by. Able Auctions, ableauctions.ca. It is a trailer, we've been told by Jeremy Dodd of Able Auctions, ableauctions.ca, just to make it official. Just before I get to John, our inbox, Braden in Abbotsford, our Bayside Oceanfront Resort inbox. Braden, we have two Mary Browns in Abbotsford. You can't go wrong, Rick, with Big Mary Monday.
Big Mary Monday.
Big Mary Monday.
KFC, I'm not going to change. I'm set in my ways. I'm old-fashioned. The Colonel is the guy, and it's going to be KFC.
Colonel was the guy.
The
guy is John Shannon.
Yeah.
100% Hockey Podcast, 100% Canucks Podcast. John joins us now. John, thanks for doing this, sir, and I'll wish you an early Big Mary Monday.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Big myth. You know, there are more than 300 franchises across the country for Mary Brown.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought it was relatively new.
I tell you what, 15 in the Lower Mainland.
Yeah.
It's 15, Rick.
What are you, a shareholder?
Listen, anything that started in St. John's, Newfoundland is good enough for me.
Yes.
Wow. It
did?
I had no clue. You knew that.
Yeah.
No clue about that. No clue that you knew it. Okay. Do you mind if because Craig Button yesterday, we had him on the show. He's a hockey expert, of course, but proud Canadian, follows the CFL. And he just ignored our hockey right off the top, and he wanted to talk about the CFL rule changes. Do you have an opinion on that, John?
Oh, I always have an opinion. I'm not sure it's right.
Yeah.
I like the redefinition of the rouge. Mm-hmm. I think that, you shouldn't get rewarded for punting from the 15-yard line and having go through the end zone and get a point. Yep. Or the same thing with the field goal. The only one I kind of disagree with is I'm disappointed the 55-yard line has gone away.
Okay.
I think that with the 12 players on the field, I think that we needed the extra yardage, the extra 10 yards. I did think it made a difference. I understand why they're doing it. I also think that, for the longest time, even in my lifetime, we have never had the exact same 9 end zones CFL. Never. We've never had it. For the longest time.
Empire Stadium.
Empire. Taylor Field was never regulation in the end zones for years and years and years. Yeah. And they have the problem in Montreal still. They have the problem in Toronto, which right now is only 17 yards for the end zone. And so if they can standardize that, then great. The question for me becomes is, the concept of the field goal, when you think that it's 15 yards longer from the goal line. So at the 35, when you're at the 35 and it's, 3rd and 6 and you're going to kick, you're going to decide whether you're going to gamble or kick. Are we going to actually see more teams try to gamble on 3rd and 6 to get the first down because
52
it's just
yards.
It's going to be impossible. 52, more than that.
Right.
57.
Yep.
So are we going to actually promote more offense? I'm not sure about the clock yet.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't compromise what has been great in the CFL for so many years. But I'm prepared to listen. Stu Johnson at least has given this some thought. I like Stu. I like what he's going to do for the game, and hopefully it'll make it more attractive. As long as we don't change the 4 downs, I'm a happy man.
Okay.
John, let's talk hockey. Canadian teams. Which one could be a surprise for you? Which one could go backwards for you?
I will be surprised if Calgary is close to the playoffs as they were last year. It's going to be a tough year in Calgary. So they're going to be, I think, the team that falls off a little bit. I do wonder about what is going to happen in Rick's favorite town, Toronto.
Stop it.
You like the Blue Jays. There's nothing wrong with liking the Blue Jays.
Yeah, but nothing after that.
You don't mind the Raptors.
Well, he likes John.
Well, no, I don't. That's yet to be proven. That is yet to be
Oh, that's true.
proven.
No. There's a nice little.
It's coming up.
There's
Coming
a
up,
nice.
I know.
There's a nice restaurant in Vaughan that I like.
In Vaughan.
Vaughan. That's where I met Ferris for lunch. Vaughan is a beautiful.
But you only vacation in L.A.
Oh, Donnie, the food there. Oh, was so good.
Going to Vaughan for me is like going to Chilliwack. You know what I mean? So come on now. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I do think Toronto might be maybe the biggest disappointment.
Oh wow.
I don't know how you replace 102 points.
Yeah.
You know, the pressure on this team to win post Marner is going to be a huge factor, and. I don't think that, and I think Brad knows that he hasn't really replaced what Marner brings, and so you have to wonder what he's going to try to do between now and the Olympic break in order to try to get this team back on track. Because the Atlantic Division, guys, the Atlantic Division is going to be hell. When you think that Montreal and Ottawa are still going to be improved, Detroit's going to have to do something. I think the Sabres are going to be better. There are 8 teams, in my mind, in the Atlantic Division vying for 5 spots in the playoffs.
Hey, John, last year, Jeremy Swayman, the contract dispute, and then he had a tough time, and we got 2 big names not signed yet, Mason McTavish, Luke Hughes. What's going on there? These guys, hey, missing camp's a big deal now, John.
Is it really? Seriously? Is it?
Well, go ask Pat Verbeek, because he said that if McTavish is missing quality time, and it's going to hurt him to play catch-up.
Well, I mean, what do we? If it's that important, why are we making it smaller next year and adding those 2 games to the regular season? You know as well as I do now, these guys are in great shape all season long. Are they in game shape? No, you're right. They're not in game shape. But you know, Mason McTavish and Luke Hughes, both young guys. I mean, Mason's skating with the Ottawa 67s.
Yep.
Luke skating. I don't see it as a major problem. These guys have earned the right to have this issue at this point. The fascination for me is that this is the one time, particularly in the Luke Hughes situation, where the team is supposed to have leverage.
Yes.
Supposed to have the leverage at this point out of an entry-level deal, and they're trying to solve the problem. And the Hughes, I don't want to call it a soap opera, but the Hughes story is one that is going to dominate the National Hockey League for the next 3 or 4 years. Yeah. When you consider this one, then we're going to worry about Quinn, and then we're going to worry about Jack. Yeah. So all of a sudden, the Hughes family are going to be a focal point for a long period of time when it comes to contracts.
We might even talk about it in Vancouver. Hey, John, I think this is the 3rd week in a row we've had to talk about, and I know it's been a few days, but I want to get your thoughts. We had to talk about the passing of a Hall of Fame goaltender, Ken Dryden, Ed Jockman, and now at the age of 80, the late, great Bernie Parent. Your memories of the Flyers legend.
Well, I mean, the Flyers, I was just going to university when the Flyers were the big bad, the big bad team.
Broad Street.
Yeah, the Broad Street Bullies. But they were not going to be nearly as good if they didn't have goaltending. And Bernie Parent, who was picked up in the expansion draft from the Bruins because he played behind Jerry Cheevers and Eddie Johnson, was one of those guys that was a linchpin. Now, the fascination for me, Donnie, and not to be too much of a nerd about this, is he was a good goalie prior to signing with the Miami Screaming Eagles.
Yes. Yeah.
He was one of the first players to jump to the WHA. That team ended up being the Philadelphia Blazers, so he played in Philadelphia for the year. But he also he got traded to Toronto because the Flyers were so mad that he signed in the WHA. So they traded him to Toronto, and he got to play with Jacques Plante. And that became the real turning point in Parent's career, because a year with Plante is like going and spending a year with a mad professor. Yeah. And Plante was the ultimate mad professor about goaltending. And from that point on, Parent was a huge factor until the eye injury. So, and he was a stand-up goalie. He was a pure stand-up goalie. The other magnificent thing about Parent now was, it's been 50 years since that team won the Stanley Cup. 50 years.
Yep.
Bernie Parent was still considered a legend, not just amongst hockey fans in Philadelphia, but amongst Philadelphians, period. And that was the impact he made, not only as a goalie, but as a person in the Delaware Valley. He was one of the great personified professional athletes in that area. People loved him in Philadelphia. And he certainly will be missed from that reason alone, let alone what he did on the ice. Again, another guy like Kenny Dryden, another guy that had huge impact in a very short career.
Yes.
Very short career compared to what you think of other guys.
What a goalie. What a personality. God rest his soul. John, thanks for this.
Cheers, boys.
You bet.